Bowls buddies, hello and welcome to what is very likely going to be my last regular video on this channel. I'll get more into that as we go on, but this is probably the last time you see AC talking bowls. Thanks for joining me, guys. Remember, if you enjoy this video, hit the like button, and if you're not already a member of this wonderful community of ours, please hit the subscribe button. It's absolutely free of charge, and don't forget, hit the notification bell for notifications of new content on the channel, which after this video I'm not sure when that's going to be. So yeah, you've obviously been aware that I've not done many videos probably since the start of September, and that's been because I've not been particularly well. I've been in the Isle of Man, but the main reason is I'm totally disillusioned with our sport at the minute, and sitting here every week getting depressed, really thinking about it, isn't doing me any good at all. Couple that with the fact that I've started work again. I've started doing a bit of supply work in schools. My time is now pretty limited, and I'll be honest, I've better ways of filling my time. I'm trying to, restart my life, and sitting here depressing myself just doesn't do me any good. Hopefully, I may have inspired somebody to start their own channel, do their own videos. Maybe they'll see the sport totally differently to me. Hopefully someone will take over the mantle and keep going. But as far as the channel's concerned, the videos will still be there for you to watch back. The footage of the old TV bowls will still be going on. I do have another video that I can put on. I think it's from the 1985 Bassmasters, and if anyone still has videos out there that they think I might not have, I'm looking for things from the early 80s realistically, please get in touch and I'll arrange to collect them and rip the videos and get them on the channel. I'll probably do excuse me, I'll probably do a county final preview and a county final roundup, just for completeness sake, but I can't see myself doing any more talking bowls. Maybe the odd special edition, and I'll mention something that might be happening shortly. But first of all, we'll just catch up with what I've been covering all season. Murfield League was won by Lower Hopton. I think they won the league by something like 6 points over my team, Thongsbridge. Down at the bottom end, Lower Hopton B maintained their first division status, beating Denby Grange 7-5. Interesting to note that Wayne Ditchfield made his league debut in that game, which some saw as an issue and some didn't, and but it was also interesting to note that Denby Grange had lined Callum Raitt up to play, but managed to get talked out of it by a Lower Hopton stalwart. So lots of things going on even in the last game of the season. Anyway, well done to Lower Hopton, much deserved win, best team in the league this season, and they've gone ahead and proved that. In the finalist list of Super League, still I think 3 or 4 games to play. The top 4 playoff is in October, I think October the 10th from memory. Rosendale are out of the running really. We've had too many bad results. I don't want to say anything too negative really about the Super League, but for me, and I'll be mentioning this to Matt Bond in a personal message before this video goes out, I think there's just a few things we can improve on. I mean, I played away against Blackburn on Sunday at the Alexandra Hotel, which always used to be in reasonable condition. It was absolutely abysmal. It looked like it hadn't been cut for a week. There were big holes in the green. I mean, some of the holes were so big Harry Hargreaves fell in 3 of them. And for me, it's things like that that just take the shine off what could be a brilliant league. There's a few other issues that I can see, and the least of them, and by far from the least of them, is that teams are still playing with only 10 or 11 players out of 12. It just doesn't. It seems bizarre that you can't get 12 bowlers to play from an area. Is that where we've got to? Is that where we've got to? We can't get 12 players. But anyway, that's another matter. I'll raise those in private with Matt, and hopefully next season the league can improve even more on this season. What else? It is the biggest competition in the game, the Isle of Man. I went over for the week, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't cope well with the island. It can be a dreadful place at times. Very lonely when you lose. Everyone wants to talk to you when you're winning. When you're losing, nobody wants to talk to you at all. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Anyway, I had a mixed bag personally. I lost in the tourism to Callum Ray, who went on to win the major competition after 16-20 years of trying. Who knows how long it is. And in the main event, I lost in the third round to Danny Barwise, who probably should have beat Callum in the semi-final of the main. So I've not lost to mugs, but lost I did, and I'll be honest with you, the game versus Danny was very hard to take. That loss took a lot out of me, but there you go. I was glad to get back to the island, get back from the island. I doubt I'll go again. I said that 12 years ago, and I didn't go for 12 years, so I only went this time because well, it was cheap and it was something different. It's never cheap though when you get there, is it? So well done, Callum. Fantastic win. I think it's safe to say Callum has really cemented his spot as games #1 this season. I've not seen anyone to change my opinion on that. He's playing in everything. He's playing well and he's winning. He won the Nasworthington Memorial as well on Sunday. He lost in the final of the George Masters on Saturday. If we manage to get our act together, if I manage to get my act together, I'm due to play him in, I think, the last 8 of the Talbot Trophy. So who knows? He might do even better and win that as well. So well done, Callum. What else has gone on? There's been a little bit of news regarding the Waterloo. If you remember, I teased probably a month ago now that somebody had come in on the Fylde Coast wanting to run all the Waterloo events under the name of the Waterloo, but at a different venue, and I can reveal that that venue was Fleetwood Bowling Club. And they wanted to do it properly. They wanted to get, like I say, all the events, have a proper bowls manager there running the events, and they want to improve the facilities, so that there's stands and improve toilet facilities, etc. All the things that the Waterloo needed, and as such they were asking for those who have donated to the to the Waterloo Fund, certainly the ones who have offered to invest considerable amounts of money, whether they would consider to invest in Fleetwood Bowling Club. From what I can gather, I mean, Jeff Brown's been in touch with me, but I haven't spoken to him for over a week now. I've heard since on the grapevine that there is another consortium who have come in to try and save the Waterloo. So I don't know just where that leaves everything. Up in the air, probably. I know that Gary and Ricky are adamant that the 10-year lease isn't sufficient as far as they're concerned. Now, whether this new consortium come in and think, well, 10 years we can work with, and they'll get in touch with all the various donors to see if they're willing to put the money into their consortium to save the Waterloo. I'm assuming that's what's going to happen. I don't know. If you remember, I raised £2,200, something like that, from my sponsored weight loss in 2020. Yeah, 2020. So I should, if anything happens, somebody should get in touch. I still haven't got that money back yet. It's still in the bank account for the Waterloo. So once I get that back, if there's anyone who is absolutely adamant that they don't want that money invested in anything else other than the Waterloo, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you'll trust me into making a decision. The way I'm feeling at the minute, I'll probably just buy £2,000 worth of lottery tickets, but well, I've had worse ideas, to be honest. I feel like I don't know, I just don't know, it's up in the air. If that Waterloo consortium that's coming, I don't even know who's involved in it, which if they're serious about going ahead with it, then I'll probably leave the money where it is. If it's the Fleetwood Bowling Club option, I'd probably put some money into that, and maybe use some of it to finish off my bowls development scheme. I've still got maybe 50 pairs of bowls to get turned down, which I'm looking at the best part of £1,500 to do that. So I'll fund some of it, but maybe take some of it out of that fund. If anyone who donated to me feels adamantly opposed to anything I've just said, please let me know, and I'll happily refund you once I've got the money back. It's not an issue. There's bigger things in life to fall out about, and I certainly won't be falling out with anyone about that. So that's the Waterloo, back up in the air, no idea what's going on. I might do a show about that if I ever find out more. So yeah. What else? The county championship will take place the first Sunday in October, the 3rd of October. I think the greens that they're using are Meltham, the big green at Meltham in October. That could be fun. I mean, it was snowing in June when I went, so God knows what it's going to be like in October. And Warwick are using the British Oak, which I've had the pleasure of playing on. Not the hardest of greens, but they play the green very well, so I think it's pretty well balanced. Meltham is arguably Yorkshire's banker green. They generally have good results on it, although a few years ago they did have a 21-0 loser on there, which is, you find it hard to believe, but they did. So I'll do a show specifically about that. That'll be out next week. Going back to something I said again maybe a month or so ago, I was labelled a doom and gloom monger, the opposite of a chuckle brother, that sort of thing, and being chastised really for not saying that the game is booming, that the sport's got hundreds of thousands of bowlers and the future's looking bright. I just want to talk very briefly about something I read on the internet the other week on Facebook. I'm a member of a group called Bowls Banter, which is based around the Rochdale area, and the main league in Rochdale is the Central Lancashire Men's Bowling League, which is arguably the worst named league ever, because it's not in Lancashire and it's certainly not in Central Lancashire, but apart from that, it's a men's bowling league, so that's pretty good. Anyway, the main gist of this thread was they're losing players, they're possibly losing clubs, and instead of playing twice a week, they normally play Monday and Wednesday. Maybe they could go to playing just one night a week, probably Wednesday, so it doesn't clash with the Chadderton League, as a lot of Rochdale players play in the Chadderton League as well. So I decided to have a look at the numbers that are involved, and let's look at the 21st century. The year 2000, the last year of the 20th century, the Central Lancashire Men's Bowling League had 63 teams playing in 4 divisions, and those 63 teams consisted of 12 players, and if you do the maths, that works out as something around 760 players. Let's round up to 760. That's not including reserves, that's just people playing every Monday and every Wednesday, twice a week, 760 players. Fast forward to 2021. They've got 29 teams playing in 3 divisions, and in the top division I think there's 9 teams, and they consist of 10 players, so that's 90 players, and the other divisions are 8-a-side, so that's 20 at 8-a-side, that's 160 plus 90, 250 bowlers. So, in the last 21 years, just in Rochdale alone, 500 bowlers have stopped playing. They might have died, they might have got old, they might have got ill, they might have found other things to do, they might want to play out of the area. But 500 bowlers have stopped playing out of 750. So let that sink in for a moment. So, extrapolate that all over the country. Rochdale's a fairly strong bowling area, and there's a lot of strong bowling areas. Extrapolate that all over the country, and you can see for yourself just how many people have stopped bowling. That might be because there's been other leagues introduced on an afternoon, say a vets league. So, you know, vets, they play their game, they're quite happy. They don't want to play at night, they've done their afternoon, they've had the cup of tea and the biscuit, they've had a game, they've seen the pals, that's them done for the day. So why would they bother to play at night? So for every vets league that's booming, maybe there's an evening league that's struggling. Don't know. But if anyone tells me that our sport is doing well in any regard, I will just have to disagree, because the facts don't back that up. If I had the time and the inclination, I'd go through the Bowls Net site and I'd just do some work on, you know, comparing the numbers that they've got. I mean, there's some leagues that go back 10 years on there. Just look at the numbers, just see what the crack is. I don't need a membership scheme to tell me that the game's struggling. I can see it. I've got a memory. I know how to work figures out. And that's where we are. That's where we are. We've got a governing body that's a bit like an alcoholic that won't accept it's got a drink problem. And the only way forward is, instead of all this burying heads in sands and saying, well, these leagues are doing well, these vets leagues are booming, fantastic, what about the rest of the sport? Until they accept that there's a problem, until they accept that there's an issue that needs fixing, until they come up with some plan to keep the bowlers that we currently have, keep the bowling greens that we currently have, our sport doesn't have a future. It'll get to the point where there'll be a handful of greens and all the bowlers will be playing on those in each area, and that's the top and bottom of it. Why will councils keep spending money on greens? Why will anyone keep spending money on greens if they're not being used? Anyway, that's part of the issue for me. I am totally disillusioned with it. Not heard a peep out of anybody about how we're going to fix the sport. No guidance, no leadership, no nothing. It won't be long before we're all part of Bowls England. What good that will do. I've heard some horror stories about those as well, even though they're fairly well organised. But you know, we're going to be where we're going to be, and I'll let somebody else worry. I'm just going to stick to bowling if I fancy it. I'm going to have a quiet winter. Come back in March, see how I feel. As the season's gone on, I've ended up bowling more for other people than I have for myself, and I find that really difficult. Mentally, I'm very fragile. It doesn't help when you have idiots stood on the side shouting nonsense at you who'll never win a tenth of the things that I've won. That's fine. That's fine. Jealousy is a wonderful thing. But I can't change that. All I can do is try and enjoy myself and play the bowls I want to play, and if that means dropping down a level, dropping down a few levels and just playing for fun, just playing in lower leagues, whatever, then I'll do that. My mental health is far more important these days than winning a bowls competition, and everything that goes with that, really. Yeah, so those are some of the reasons why I'm stopping doing this. Time is probably the biggest one. I just don't have time to do it, and I'm only doing this now to try and round everything off. I mentioned earlier my Bowls Development Fund. It's doing well. I've just got 30 sets back that need spray painting. I'll be donating those to various clubs and schemes over the next few weeks. Once I get them done, that's going to take quite some time. And as I say, I've probably another 50 sets to do. If anyone still wants to donate, get in touch and I'll arrange to collect. And then once that's done, you know, I've done something. I've done my bit. If everyone did a bit, then we'd be in a lot better place. But I've done my bit, and I'm at the point now where I don't think I want to do it anymore. So sad end, depressing end maybe, but for the last couple of years, you've certainly helped me get through COVID. You've helped me get through some bad times. I'm hoping there's some good times around the corner. I'm hoping against hope, and I hope I've helped some of you out there, and I hope that you've been entertained and informed. And I'm sorry if I've depressed some of you, and I'm sorry if I've upset some of you. I didn't mean any of that to happen, but it is what it is, unfortunately, and you can't please all the people all of the time. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for being my Bowls buddies. Thank you for subscribing. I never got to that 2,000, unfortunately. I hoped I would have done. Still, it saved me a prize, hasn't it? And I hope that you all take a little bit of inspiration and maybe just do that little bit extra that every club needs going forward, just to get new members, just to get some new lifeblood into our sport, because otherwise we ain't going to be around a lot longer. So I'll say goodbye. Thank you. Stay safe. Get out on the green. And I'll see you soon. Bye for now.